he performed his very first magic trick, get this, when he was just 2 years old. And from then on, he was hooked.
Well, now he is an award-winning magician who has performed all over the world. We are happy to welcome Jake Schwartz to All Indiana. First of all, tell us about yourself. And I don't want to bury the lead. We want to hear about this magic trick you did when you were just 2.
Yeah, so believe it or not, I started doing magic when I was 2 years old, and the story goes kind of like this. I was a super picky eater as a kid, as so many people are, and so my parents devised this game that they would play with me where they asked me to make my food disappear to get me to eat, right? So I would eat my food, and they go, oh my God, wow, that was amazing, and it encouraged me to eat as a little kid. Little did they know, fast forward to now, I do magic full-time all over the country for tons of amazing people. But it all started by making that piece of food disappear, which, of course, at the time just meant eating it. But now I do much more impressive vanishing.
Who knew, right? That's amazing. And I'm so curious. Okay, so you started at 2, and then how did you start to expand all of that from the young age till now?
Yeah, well, for me, magic was all about the reactions that I was able to elicit from people, because the amazing thing about magic is that it gets you so present in the moment. When something vanishes in front of your face, you're not thinking about your taxes or where you got to go or where you got to be. You're really in the moment, and so that gift, being able to give that oh my gosh feeling, even though I couldn't put a name on it back then, is what got me hooked on magic. So I started reading books and watching YouTube videos, and then as I got connected with other magicians, they were able to say, hey, you should read this, you should talk to this person, that person, and slowly but surely I developed a complete magic knowledge.
And you're joining us right now from Greater Philadelphia. You really perform all over, right?
Correct. Yeah, I perform all over the country, and especially now as things are starting to open back up, people are starting to get back out again. I do theaters, and mostly, though, corporate events is what I specialize in.
Okay, so we have a lot of different magicians on our morning show on Indie Style, and I'm so curious, when we meet different magicians, what is it that you love the most about what you do, about magic?
Wow, well, it's just what I had alluded to earlier. When something vanishes in front of your face, you're not thinking about anything else. And especially in today's day and age, we're all so worried about this, that, and the other. And our phones are constantly giving us tons of information. There's all this content to watch. But when you see a good magic trick, it's almost like music. It's a universal language. It's something that is so unique, that has this incredible ability to bring everyone together. And that's why, really, I think we need magic now more than we ever have.
All right, Jake, let's get down to brass tacks. We want to see some magic, sir.
Ready.
Absolutely. This is what the people came for, right?
That's right. Give the people what they want.
Exactly, exactly. Well, it is the holiday season, which means now is the time of a couple different things. The first one is sports, and the second one is travel. And we will be dealing with both of those things here today. So, George, I'm just going to ask you, we'll start off by kind of giving you a little sport to choose from. Would you, but I want this to be double blind, George, so would you just name any card in the deck?
Any card in the deck.
Let's say 4 of spades.
4 of spades. Okay, George, any particular reason why you wanted the 4 of spades?
I didn't have, it just popped into my head.
Just felt right. Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'll show these all to our audience here. We're going to go through here and find your 4 of spades. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Perfect. Right here. Now, George, I'm going to put your 4 of spades right here so that it stays in full view the entire time. Now, the reason I bring this up, George, is because every card in this deck has a different sport written on the back, winter or otherwise. We've got track and field, we've got gymnastics, there's soccer in there, volleyball, weightlifting is even in there, swimming, fencing, ice hockey's in there too, I know, because it's wintertime. Let's see, there's skateboarding. You get the point. They're all different sports, but you happen to name the 4 of spades, which in this case is tennis. So hopefully you guys can see that. That 4 of spades says tennis on it. And George, we're going to come back to that in a second. But for now, for both of you guys, we got to get to the travel part of this magic trick. So, Amanda, I'd like you to imagine that you're going on a little vacation, okay? And we're going to create some hypothetical, imaginary circumstances under which you are going to take this vacation. So first, Amanda, I'd like you to think of any celebrity in the world that you can bring with you on this vacation, and you can name that out loud. I'm sorry, Amber. I don't know what I would say.
That's totally fine.
Just click.
Any celebrity.
Any celebrity.
Kevin Costner.
There he is.
Kevin Costner. Interesting. Any particular reason why you wanted Kevin Costner?
Well, You know. No, I'm just kidding. It just
She
the first thing that
loves
came to my head.
Bull Durham.
Amazing. Well, so we've got Kevin Costner, and I want you to think about a place. So you and Kevin Costner are getting on a plane. That plane is taking off, or it could be a car, depending on if you want to visit somewhere local. Where would you like to take Kevin Costner on a vacation with you?
No, I'm going to take Kevin to Hawaii.
Oh, to Hawaii. Interesting. A little tropical island.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Uh-huh.
I like it. So you and Kevin Costner get to Hawaii. And, of course, you got to take an Instagram picture, right? You got to take some social media pictures of your vacation. So you can kind of picture you're there with Kevin. You're posing for your picture. And I want you to give me a color and a piece of clothing. Because you guys, of course, you have to match if it's going to be social media worthy. So give me a color and an article of clothing.
Okay, my color is blue. And
Blue?
article of clothing is a hat.
A hat, a blue hat. So we can kind of get this entire picture now of you and Kevin Costner on a plane, going to Hawaii. You get to Hawaii, you got your matching blue hat, and you are ready to go on your vacation. Now, these things all were freely chosen by both of you guys, whether it just be the floor of space or the details of your vacation. Is that correct? Like, we didn't set any of this up beforehand.
No.
That's correct.
Well, so you'll notice I'm kind of also ready to travel as well. I've got my bag here, right here, ready to go, ready to travel. Don't want to knock it over, but I'll leave your card there, George. And here's the bag right here. But you'll notice my bag is actually ready to be checked onto the airplane. It's got a little luggage tag right here. And weirdly enough, if you look inside this luggage tag here, it's really ready for your vacation specifically. Let's take a look at what that says on there. Can you guys see that? That is Kevin Costner, a blue hat on its way to Hawaii. The exact details of your trip that you provided, already ready on my bag, ready to go. But you know what? That's a pretty good magic trick. It's amazing to be able to plan a trip in advance without even knowing what you guys were going to say. But, George, the card that you picked, the sport was, do you remember what it was?
Apparently it was tennis.
It was tennis. And weirdly, George, in my bag here, I didn't pack any clothes for this trip. I packed something else.
Crazy.
I packed a whole bunch of tennis balls, and that is a vacation that I can get behind. Oh, my God, I'm going to knock over my whole thing.
You, sir, are
down
magic.
Here, but I'm ready to go. Yeah, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Jake Schwartz. Travels all over the world doing stuff like that. Awesome.
Stuff we can't figure out.
Exactly right.
Thank you so much, Jake. That's so fun. And I'm
me.
wondering, Jake, if we're interested in getting into magic, where do we start? Where do we go?
Well, magic is, believe it or not, the second most published about profession in the history of the world. The only profession with more published works on it than magic is the medical profession. So the easiest place, if you want to get started in magic and learning tricks, is to your local library.
There you go. All right. Jake Schwartz, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.